everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's opening week in the NFL, and today we have two teams are more than ready to get the season underway. It's the Seahawks going up against the 49ers. The opening kick of the new season is straight ahead as we turn it over to our broadcast duo of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they enter play here. An early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4". First carry for Carlos Hyde. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, set the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They're able to find Garcon. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon. Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
He's going to look deep for Perriman. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Allen on to punt as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 15. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And when I think of Russell Wilson, I think not just of the big plays that he's made, and those are considerable, is with Wisconsin. A big completion helped lead his team to a victory. A big 4th down throw for a touchdown in an NFC Championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. When the chips are down, this guy plays at a big level.
Here's Wilson. Looking left side, and it's complete. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Flush to his right. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Throwing is Wilson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jay Bromley able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. From the gun, it's Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards.
Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. And he's got some space here. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. Now Blair Walsh on for a long field goal. He's hit from as far away as 56 in his young career. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. So he splits the uprights there, and I would imagine it's nice as a kicker. Right when it leaves your foot, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a golfer that picks up his tee after a nice drive without even watching it land.
Solid analogy. I like it. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. This will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to hold that one in.
On second down, Hyde. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. 3-0 is our score. We're back to Santa Clara after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football, and they've got it here with a first down. He'll look to throw. No, bottled up fumble. It's out, it's loose. And the Seahawks have recovered. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
It's a gain of 7, and all of a sudden here, it's third down. Wilson now to throw on third down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And that will make it 6-0. So they recover the fumble but could not take advantage of the short field. They do get 3.
And no one ever turns down 3 points going up on the board, but the offense will go to the sidelines wondering what if, while the defense on the other side, they'll celebrate holding them to just a field goal after giving up such bad field position.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Bobby Wagner coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. They're going to look to throw. It's complete to Jeremy Curley. 30. And that's a big collision backward as they will mark him down. A big play there for the Niners. 58 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
First down, a run with Hyde. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding.
Holding, offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
They'll drop to throw. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Malik McDowell never giving up. He's able to keep working and get him for a loss of 12.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And now Sebastian Janikowski on from a long distance. He's hit from 61 and 63 in his career. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar.
Well, he gets everything he...
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Well, this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50, 1st and 10. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Solomon Thomas in there to sack him for a loss of 6. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack. Although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that. And the ball that you throw has to get back to at least the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you face an intentional grounding call.
So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
Not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though this offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points.
This one taken just inside the 10. Oh, leaves him behind on the spin. And he'll take it. Up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And his throw here's incomplete. Carlos Hyde was the target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Niners on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll give to Hyde. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Here's Ryan Allen now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you across the country to Orlando. Standing by there, Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The 49ers trail at home at halftime. The Seahawks have looked good on the road and will just try to keep the ball rolling in the second half. So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. 1st and 10. Wilson's on point with the throw, and he won't be brought down until he makes it to the 48-yard line. Seahawks would go on to kick a field goal to put 3 points on the board.
Okay, Larry, thank you. No touchdowns in our first half. What will we see in half number 2? Time to find out. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Listen. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Meanwhile, down in Glendale, and it's an early lead there for the Saints. Michael Thomas off to a big start catching the football in that one, up over 100 yards already. On first down, Wilson. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Quentin Dial able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard. And for the defense, their 3rd sack of the game.
That number tells you that they're starting to put it together with their defensive game plan. They're starting to feel pretty good.
And the pressure gets to him again. DeForest Buckner in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays. 3rd down. Here's Rawls. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
On is the punter, Ryan, to send this one away. And that'll kick and go out of bounds just outside the 15 at the 16-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protection? It's struggle.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Pierre Garçon, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fielded at the 43. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now Wilson on first down. It's caught. Lockett. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. On second down, here's Wilson. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. First down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Here's Rawls, and able to work his way down to the 16. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Wilson into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Rashard Robinson with a pick. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or 2 shy of midfield. And San Francisco gets set to go here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. K.J. Wright leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Caught left side, Garcon. And he will be taken down, and a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. Now a play fake here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Malik McDowell coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll look to throw here. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. A gain of 8 and a first down. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Back to throw now on first down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
This complete to Lockett. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16.
What may seem a little unorthodox to some people, got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
So down on the ground still is Rawls. And you remember his knee injury and hope that it's not a re-aggravation. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. They stay on the ground. This time it's Lacey. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
The 15 yards through the air and a first down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. Now, Russell Wilson appears to be shaken up. And, you know, they're holding their breath over on that sideline. He's still down. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Second down, offense behind the sticks here. 2nd and 13. So Wilson heads for the sidelines. Now the backup, A.J. McCarron. And it's A.J. McCarron that's summoned from the bench to replace inside the 35-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Let's go.
Now a first down carry. It's Lacey. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. They stay on the ground on first down with Lacey. Only able to work it to the 20 after the nice broken tackle. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Second down, 8. McCarron going to throw it here. And this is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
On third down, here's Lacey. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And the 49ers going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth.
Let's go!
They're going for it. It's McCarron. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Doug Baldwin, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
Little work still to do, though. A.J. McCarron looking to throw. And he will get into the end zone to bump the lead up to 3 scores. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and we'll do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Back to throw here. He's going to let it fly. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
He dumps it to Hyde. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a first down. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move. He'll look to throw. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. 2nd down following the incompletion.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Malik McDowell in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. They'll look to throw. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And this one will be returned to right around the 30.
It all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
McCarron, and he's got his tight end. This is Luke Wilson. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. That one looks like he'll throw here. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Seahawks, you can't ask for a better start as they pitch a shutout here in the opener. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. That'll do it for us.